Hi, I'm Courtney Morrison, and you're listening to Engagement Drivers, presented by EveryoneSocial. Each week, we'll share actionable tips, strategies, and success stories that you and your teams can use to steer your brand, social, and employee engagement in the right direction. Welcome back to the show. On today's episode, I am so happy. Danielle Stapleton here, who is the Global Social Media Program Manager for National Instruments. Thank you so much for joining today, Danielle.
Hi, Courtney. Thanks for having me.
So, Danielle, your role, you're dealing a lot with content strategy and distribution, and I would love to hear more about your perspective on how you choose those channels and the strategy that goes behind the decisions that you're making to connect with customers and engage with them. So to you, what's most important to you when you're choosing your channels?
Yeah, great question. The first thing I think about is the audience. I think that's absolutely where you have to start, because you need to know where your audience is and how they're using platforms, and getting that basic information down is really the foundation to making the decisions that follow after you've decided where you're going to place this content. And so I'd really say that understanding your audiences and their needs is really the biggest important place to start.
That's so true. Are you using any tools to figure out where your customers and the people that you want to be talking to and reaching are active?
We do. We use a lot of different data points from across the business, if I'm being honest. It comes from a lot of sources, but in particular for social, we look a lot at our past results, right? So it's looking at the data from the campaigns we've run, whether that be paid or organic, and really understanding what resonated, seeing what got the right kind of engagement we were seeking, and then using that to inform the decisions for the next campaign or the next promotional effort, and really making sure we understand how to bring those messages to those channels too. So it's really driven by past data, plus, like I said, those business pieces of business information that fuel understanding our customers and their needs and what they're seeking as far as just either information or learning content, or even just announcements about the company and our products as well.
So important, I think, kind of going back and seeing what resonates. Was there anything that has surprised you that it resonated so well with the people that you're trying to, your audience?
I mean, I'm not really terribly surprised by this. I think my suspicions were confirmed by the data, but it seems to take other people by surprise. When we launched our corporate impact messaging and goals associated with that, we did a big campaign through LinkedIn, and really not just said, hey, we launched this approach and this corporate impact strategy, but we dove into each of the pillars, and we really started to explain the meat behind the company's goals. And engagement was incredible. It was one of our top performing pieces in Q1. It was one of our highest shared content through EveryoneSocial. And again, I'm not sure I was surprised by that, but there was general just wow moment for everybody to see like how that message permeated through different channels, and also was amplified through our advocates and our partners in all of that work as well.
I love when the data kind of backs up a hypothesis that you have, and it kind of aligns with what you were expecting.
Yeah, so good.
That's always nice. Why do you think it was so successful?
Twofold. I think one, like society is looking for that in companies and brands right now. And so there was probably just a natural appetite for it, but I also think it was pride. I think that our customers and our employees and the community around us was just proud to say, this is a company that has values we support and is aspiring to do great things for the world and to do them mindfully in a sustainable way. And so that's, I think, what I would credit it to. But I also think it was the thoughtfulness we put into how we told that and how we did that different on each channel. Because we know, I'll go back to my first answer, the audience, right? Our LinkedIn audience is very different than our Facebook audience. Our Instagram channel is newer, and it has different needs because that's a new audience that we need to educate about our brand. And so we tried to be mindful of that as we decided how deep to go in or how to visually show that. And I really think that helped the engagement because, again, we were mindful of where that was living and how people were going to engage with it and didn't just blanket the same thing across everywhere. And so I think that doing that, let each channel kind of work its magic in its own ways because they each have their own unique abilities. And we leaned into that rather than like just, again, blanketing it all with the same thing.
That's so true. I think that it's getting more and more important for people to have access and be able to find like what are this company's values, what do they support and believe in, and I think it's on both the customer decision process and also where you want to work, like when you're looking for where you want to be in your career. And I think that making it easy for people to find like what those values are is really a great strategy right now and even more important going forward. What about getting employees involved in amplifying brand messages? What successes have you seen there?
Yeah, this has been really critical for us. And I rebranded last year and launched an entirely new look and feel, but also a set of refreshed values for the company and that ownership of the employees. And that was so important to us. And so using our employees' voices to amplify that announcement, but then continue doing that, through today has been so critical because I don't believe that, the brand's voice is always what people are listening to. I just don't think it is. I think word of mouth marketing has been around before social media. Mm-hmm. It still stands true today that you're going to listen to an individual before you listen to a brand or a company. And so it's been critical to have our employees in EveryoneSocial leveraging that tool in particular and then amplifying that on LinkedIn. We have seen our biggest success there. And it's not terribly surprising. It's one of our better channels for the company too. And it's as a B2B company where a lot of people naturally gravitate. So we just have seen our employees take EveryoneSocial and just use it to the max on LinkedIn. And we're seeing great success. I think it was Q4's data, but we were seeing like 6 times conversion rate for people coming from employee posts to the website versus brand posts to the website. So They were already coming in, trusting the brand, and they were saying, okay, I'm hearing this from my, salesperson or my contact or my friend, and they're moving through the process faster as a result of it. And so we found really good success in balancing both the employee-generated content and their work with actually feeding them in-eye content as well. And so in my role in the content team, I see it as coming in and saying, here's this awesome stuff we're putting together, and here's what we're putting in the market. We want to enable our employees to put it into their networks. And so I am very deliberate in doing that on a regular basis to help our employees kind of get that habit going and just make it part of their day-to-day or their week-to-week work. And that has, again, just doing that on a regular basis and that cadence has been really critical to getting people to keep the engagement up with EveryoneSocial and also get their colleagues involved as well because they see that activity and they want to be a part of it.
I love hearing success stories like that.
Yeah, it's been a feel-good moment.
Feel-good moment, so good. Yes. Thank you so much, Danielle, for coming on today and sharing some of the ways that National Instruments is thinking about content strategy and using and enabling employees to share those messages. For anyone listening that would like to learn more about you or National Instruments, where should they go?
I would go back to LinkedIn. I think I've said that a few times, but I'm always open to network and connect, and that's the best place to find me. But I would welcome that. I believe in the power of networking and community, and so always happy to connect with folks in the field. And then we're across all of them: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, WeChat. So you can find us in most of the places that you already are.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Danielle.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with more engagement insights. Want to know how EveryoneSocial can provide you with the tools needed to keep everyone at your company connected, informed, creating, and sharing? Visit EveryoneSocial.com to learn more.